Over those 4 or so years, how would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
She said,
if you guys don't know, that is Mila Adams, former chef for NFL player Stefon Diggs. I covered this case a while back. You may remember it from, this is the picture what she looks like. She is suing him for, well, he is basically in criminal court for strangulation, and she's also accusing him of not paying. And after I guess you could say he allegedly strangled her, there is pictures and videos of her dancing. And you have this picture right here where it's saying no signs of any like facial bruising or scars around her neck because she's going to accuse him of strangulation, which we'll get to. And let's get to the video of her dancing right here. You will see. I mean, I'm not sure how many people go dancing after they get strangled, but maybe I could be wrong.
Which is another video from that same time, December 6th, 2025.
that's for the record, I believe it's also the case. Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, I mean, big surprise there. They even do like a zoom in of her neck to say, hey, if he strangled you where, you know, you expect like some redness around the neck. Now, this couldn't have gone any, I guess, better for Stefon Diggs, considering she also says she didn't get paid and they're going to catch her flat out in this lie where it turns out, yeah, she actually did get paid.
Oh, yes.
And it turned out, Miss Adams, you had gotten paid for 2 of the 3 weeks that you said you hadn't gotten paid for, right?
This is missing a whole lot of stuff.
It's a yes or no question.
I can't answer your question correctly without the proper evidence.
Answer the question correctly. Yes or no, did you get paid?
Your Honor, may I approach? You may. Do you recognize this document as text exchanges between you and Sonny?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dated December 9, 2025?
Yes.
And you're the person in the bubbles on the left?
Yes.
And you write to Sonny, hey, so I looked over my transfers, payment history, and they sent payments, 11/7 and 11/21, totaling $4,000. See that?
Yes.
So you knew that you had actually been paid for 2 of those 3 weeks that you tried to get paid for again, right?
What's your name? I never got your name.
Did you know
I
that
don't
you
know.
had
I was trying to address you by your name because I'm not this. I don't know. I can't answer that question correctly.
You knew on December 9th that you had been paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you said you hadn't been paid for, didn't you?
I don't understand the question.
You just acknowledged you wrote it to Sonny.
I was supposed to be paid for the week I was sent home.
Okay.
So I sent the incorrect amount because I didn't know he wasn't paying me for that week.
Right, so you sought $6,000 instead of $2,000.
That's my calculations was.
Right. And so that last week, that was a week you didn't work, right?
Because I was sent home.
Right, so you weren't in the kitchen cooking.
Mrs. Diggs sent me home because he had girls at the
Ma'am,
house.
whatever you're going to add
should
is
be
not
paid.
responsive, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. Adams, you understand the question you're being asked?
I don't
Answer
understand.
her question. Answer Attorney Silver's question, all right? If you can.
What she's trying to do is add extra information. You could say to confuse the jury, maybe to garner sympathy. But the fact remains, she said she wasn't paid for 3 weeks. And one of the weeks she was not there cooking in the kitchen. And the other 2 she had gotten paid for. So the judge is saying, hey, can you just answer the question? We don't need you got sent home because there were girls there or this, that, and the third. Did you get paid? Yes or no?
If it's confusing to you, she will restate it. Counsel, would you restate your question?
Yes. So you weren't in the kitchen cooking that week, right?
No.
Okay. If you can turn back to tab D.
So there they go. They cooked her on basically, you could say, like saying that she didn't get paid when she did get paid. And this case is pretty much all like really relying heavily on her testimony because there is no physical evidence. Now, when she went to the police and she made her police report, she left out some stuff, some crucial text messages that may not paint her in the best of lights. And she's about to try to explain that away of why she did it.
The morning into the noon, 12-2.
Of December 2nd?
Yes.
Is there a difference between the text messages that you provided to the Dedham police and the text messages that are here?
Yes.
And what is that difference?
I deleted bet and pussy. And I'm ruining that bitch life. Not mistaken. Yeah.
And why did you delete those phrases when you provided those text messages to the Dedham police?
Because when I was abused in my previous relationship, when I would say things,
The objection is sustained.
he would.
The objection is sustained, there's no question. There again, the jurors will disregard it. Sidebar.
Got her. Now, look, guys, you have to figure out, do you believe her to be telling the truth? Now, the incident took place on December 2nd, the strangulation. She didn't report it to the 9th. She also went back to the house to try to get back in his good graces. So without further ado, let's play her full testimony of her breaking down what actually happened that day on December 2nd. Let me know if you believe her.
For the week. And I asked him, oh, so you weren't going to tell me that I wasn't able to come to Art Basel? And he explained why. And it was because of the situation with me and the other coworker, Lindsay Bolin. And I was upset with him, not upset at the fact I couldn't go to Art Basel. Me and him have a relationship for over 4.5 years. He could have told me weeks ahead of time because me and his girlfriend, Cardi B, we were talking about having like outfits and stuff. It was like a whole thing being planned, and he just waited till the last day. So I was more upset with him not letting me know I wasn't going to come like at an earlier time.
And at some point during this day, were you alone in your bedroom?
Yes.
And do you know around when this was?
It was in the, like around 3 afternoon, 3-ish.
When you're in your bedroom by yourself, what, if anything, were you doing?
I was sitting on the bed, laying across the bed. I had my laptop, reading a cookbook, actually.
And were you communicating with any people at this point?
I received a text from Anna, was one of his friends.
Did you receive any text or send any text to Mr. Diggs?
No, the morning text. That was in the morning. We had went back and forth.
So you had some previous texts in the morning?
Yes.
So you're in the bedroom. What happens next?
I was in the bedroom. Mr. Diggs came into my room. He was laying across the bed. He came into my room.
When you were in the bedroom, was the door closed?
Yes, the door was closed.
So when he came in, did he open the door?
Yes, he opened the door.
Did he leave it open after him?
No, he closed the door behind him.
And you said you were on the bed?
Yes, I was laying across the bed.
About how far away were you from the door?
About 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
So he comes in, closes the door behind him. What happens next?
He asked me to come here. He walked across the room and like leaned back on the dresser.
Okay, now just to get a kind of a sense, where's the dresser in the room in relation to like the door and?
Across the room, alongside the bathroom door.
Okay, so about how far away from that, from the front door is the dresser?
Or 8 feet. I don't know a nice amount of feet.
Okay, so some amount of distance from it. You said he leans against the dresser?
Yes.
Are you still on the bed at this point?
I'm still in bed at this point.
What happens?
He comes in, he looks very angry. He was upset from the text exchange we were having. And in that text exchange, he was calling me bitches, and he was just very upset.
But what happened in that room?
He came in and he with intent to hurt me.
For context purposes, the text messages that she says he was upset about, she was literally trying to out him for sleeping with other women via text message to said other women. I believe Cardi B is one of them.
Not his intent or anything. What actually happened?
He was leaning against the dresser. He asked me to get up to come here. I got up off the bed and I came across to him and I stood in front of him. Like I stood on the side of him because he was leaning back. I stood on the side of him and he was like, what was all that shit you was talking?
And then what happened?
And I was beginning to say, you said, and I couldn't finish my statement, and he smacked me.
So when you say he smacked
He
you,
smacked me with an open hand.
do you know which hand he used?
Right hand, right side of my
Do you know
face.
which part of your face got hit?
The right side of my face.
And I know you're putting your hand against your cheek. Was it your cheek that got
It was
struck?
my cheek that got hit.
About how far away from you were you from him when that happened?
I was at the end of the dresser.
And where was he?
He was in like in front of the other side of the dresser.
So about how much space was in between you?
Maybe 3 feet, 4 feet.
So you said that he smacked you. I want to use the word. Did you say smack or slap? I don't know what the word was.
Smack.
So he smacked you,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
I went to try to like block him, like push him like this, like stop.
So again, I see you're pushing your hands out.
I pushed up. He's way taller than me. I pushed up for him.
How tall are you?
4'11", 5 feet.
And how tall is he? Do you know?
6 feet, 6'1".
So you said you pushed out and you made a motion of your hands. So does that mean you pushed with your hands?
Yes.
Around what, like his stomach, his chest, his shoulders?
Up to block his hand.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then he Can I take it?
All right. Now, to be fair, right? She's not suing him in civil court yet. Typically, you want to go through the criminal court. If he's convicted, then the civil lawsuit will swiftly follow. But you guys have to make the decision. Do you find her credible? Do you find her story believable? Because there's no video proof in it. She didn't go to the hospital. She went to the cops literally 7 days later after returning to the house to get back in his good graces. It's all these things you have to consider. And I know day 2, more witnesses are going to come up to testify on, most likely on her behalf. But right now, do you believe her? Put it in the comments section. If you new, make sure you subscribe and hype the video.
Can I have a second?
Yes, you're gonna.
Right. When I went up to push his hand, like block him, block him, he took his arm and he like came around my neck with the crook of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
So you said you pushed against him and then he put his arm around your neck?
Yes.
You know, were you facing away from him?
I was facing him.
You were facing him, he put his arm around your neck?
Yes, he like spun me around.
He spun you around?
You know, like I don't have to show you more so than I can describe it.
Describe as much you can.
I was standing in front of him. When he slapped me, I went to like try to hit him back like this. And then it was like he tackled me. Like got me to try to keep from pushing him or protecting myself.
It's funny she say tackle because literally at some point during the interview, she said she had no idea he got tackled. She just went to a couple games and it was 4 games just for the vibes. You know, it was so many inconsistencies in her testimony.
And he put his arm around my neck like this, and he was choking me.
So you ended up in a position where his like forearm or bicep was around your neck.
Yes.
And you said he choked you. What exactly, did he put pressure on your neck?
Yes, he put pressure on.
And were you able to breathe?
At first, and it kept getting tighter, tighter.
So were you able to breathe?
No.
About how long were you in this position?
I would say roughly I can't recall the amount of time. I just know it went from the edge where we were in front of the dresser to the side of the bed to him falling on top of me on the bed.
So about how far of a distance is that?
About maybe 4 or 5 feet, something like that, 5, 6 feet.
At some point, did he let you go?
Yeah, he let me go. When we got to the side of the bed, I was pushing back. I started to do a move that I saw off of social media. He said to me, that shit is not going to work.
Now, notice that she said that S is not going to work, because she's going to add just a little bit more to it when she repeats herself.
So when you say you saw him, you tried to do
It
a
was a
move.
defensive move where you try to put your hands underneath the person that's trying to choke you. It's like something I saw on a women defensive page or something. And he said that shit you see on Instagram is not going to work. And that's when he got tighter. Like, the more I was trying to put his hand, he got tighter.
And then what happened?
And then I was pushing back.
Me as a former investigator, I look for those inconsistencies. I would probably like, you sure it wasn't TikTok that he said, or YouTube, or X?
Then he like fell down on top of me on the bed because I was on the side of the bed. And it was like, he was like letting me, like, I guess he was about to let me go. But as he was getting up, he like pulled my hair. And he was like, yeah, I thought so.
And then what happened?
He got up off of me, off the bed behind me, and he walked around the bed. I told him I still haven't got paid. He said lies. And he was like, so what are you doing? So what are you doing for the week? And I was like, I'm staying here. He said, I don't want anyone in my house. I don't want anyone here. I was like, okay, so who's going to get my ticket? He said, who always gets your ticket? And that's it. He walked out of the room.
Yes. Now, we all know that she did get paid, right? So when she said, hey, I didn't get paid, and him saying lies, that's actually true. She was lying right there. But what she was trying to do is, you could say, sabotage his relationships with the females he was having sex with. And the story is he found out she was doing this, got aggressive, choked her, sent her on her way, because when Cardi B would come through, he would tell her, you have to go, because he was banging her. Now, whether you guys believe it or not, that is going to be up for you guys to decide. But me personally, I'm just not, it's hard to believe that he choked you, smacked you, you didn't go to the police right away, you came back, lied about not getting paid, and then filed the police report once he fired you. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you believe her? Do you not believe her? And stick around for more coverage following day 2. Peace.